Hello, and welcome back to Road TRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's category is a little different. Instead of 21 questions, we're going to be doing all 50 U.S. state capitals. These are in order from the date they became a state, and I will read you the name of the state, and you will give me the capital of that state. There's a little bit of information in there. There's the date they entered statehood. That's not necessarily important, but it's one more thing you can learn a little bit while you're playing. So good luck on today's quiz. Alright, getting started with the first state, Delaware. The capital is Dover. The second state, Pennsylvania. The capital is Harrisburg. State number 3, New Jersey. The capital is Trenton. The fourth state, Georgia. The capital is Atlanta. The fifth state, Connecticut. The capital is Hartford. The sixth state, Massachusetts. The capital is Boston. The seventh state, Maryland. The capital is Annapolis. The eighth state, South Carolina. The capital is Columbia. The ninth state, New Hampshire. The capital is Concord. The 10th state, Virginia. The capital, Richmond. The 11th state, New York. The capital of New York is Albany. The 12th state, North Carolina. The capital is Raleigh. And the 13th state, Rhode Island. The capital is Providence. The 14th state, Vermont. The capital is Montpelier. The 15th state, Kentucky. The capital of Kentucky is Frankfort. The 16th state, Tennessee. The capital is Nashville. The 17th to become a state, Ohio. Ohio's capital is Columbus. The 18th state, Louisiana. The capital is Baton Rouge. The 19th state, Indiana. The capital of Indiana is Indianapolis. The 20th state, Mississippi. The capital is Jackson. The 21st state, Illinois. The capital of Illinois is Springfield. The 22nd state, Alabama. The capital is Montgomery. The 23rd state, Maine. The capital is Augusta. The 24th state, Missouri. The capital is Jefferson City. The 25th state, Arkansas. The capital is Little Rock. The 26th state, Michigan. The capital is Lansing. The 27th state, Florida. The capital is Tallahassee. The 28th state, Texas. The capital is Austin. The 29th state, Iowa. The capital of Iowa is Des Moines. The 30th state, Wisconsin. Madison is the capital of Wisconsin. The 31st state, California. The capital is Sacramento. The 32nd state, Minnesota. The capital is St. Paul. The 33rd state, Oregon. The capital of Oregon is Salem. The 34th state, Kansas. Topeka is the capital of Kansas. The 35th state, West Virginia. The capital is Charleston. The 36th state, Nevada. The capital is Carson City. The 37th state, Nebraska. The capital of Nebraska is Lincoln. The 38th state to join was Colorado. The capital of Colorado is Denver. The 39th state is North Dakota. The capital is Bismarck. South Dakota is the 40th state, only because of alphabetical order. Its capital is Pierre. The 41st state is Montana. Montana's capital is Helena. The 42nd state, Washington. Olympia is the capital of Washington. The 43rd state, Idaho. The capital is Boise. The 44th state, Wyoming. The capital is Cheyenne. The 45th state, Utah. The capital, Salt Lake City. The 46th state, Oklahoma. The capital is Oklahoma City. The 47th state, New Mexico. The capital is Santa Fe. The 48th state, Arizona. The capital is Phoenix. The 49th state, Alaska. The capital is Juneau. And the 50th state, Hawaii. Hawaii's capital is Honolulu. Alright, that is it for today. That is all 50 U.S. state capitals. There's a lot of information in there. You can go back through. There's the date they became a state, when they actually entered statehood. They're all in order of the date they started. Delaware, obviously, is the first state. I think that's even their motto. And Hawaii is the most recent state. They all have their flags on there on the question. And I think even Mississippi just updated their flag a few months ago. Back at the end of 2020, I believe they've got a new flag. That's the one on there. So this is a very current quiz. One of the reasons that I did this quiz was because I keep getting caught up on questions during trivia, and I don't know what the capital is. And I know that I learned them all at one point, but sometime growing into adulthood, I have forgotten our state capitals. So this is something that you can play back over and over again, keep refreshing your memory. That's what I'm going to do. It'll also, because it's in order, You'll get an idea of about what were the early states, what were the later states. They have the dates on there if you need them. They have the flag. You can start building a little bit of memory on who, what, when, and where the states became states. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. I know it's a little bit different. We'll get back to regular trivia tomorrow, but I thought I'd try something a little different. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.